Egypt, land of towering pyramids and eternal enigmas. Beneath the sands and within the shadows of ancient temples, what secrets lie hidden? Join us as we venture into a realm where history's greatest mysteries await. Are you prepared to unravel the awe-inspiring legends and monumental wonders of ancient Egypt? The journey to the heart of this legendary civilization starts now. The Nile River. Source and course. The Nile, the longest river in the world, flows from the highlands of East Africa to the Mediterranean Sea. Its annual inundation brought fertile silt to the lands, enabling the growth of crops and the prosperity of Egyptian society. The river was not just a physical lifeline, but also a spiritual symbol, representing the divine and eternal aspects of life. Inundation cycle. The flood cycle of the Nile was crucial for agriculture. Each year, the floodwaters covered the fields, depositing nutrient-rich silt that rejuvenated the soil. This cycle was meticulously observed and recorded by the Egyptians, allowing them to predict and manage their agricultural practices with remarkable accuracy. Early Egyptian settlements. Pre-dynastic period. Before the rise of the pharaohs, Egypt was divided into two regions, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. The early settlers of these regions developed agricultural techniques, established trade routes, and created early forms of social organization. Formation of the kingdom. Around 3100 BCE, King Narmer, or Menes, unified Upper and Lower Egypt, marking the beginning of the early dynastic period. This unification laid the groundwork for the development of a centralized state and the construction of monumental architecture. Herodotus. Egypt is the gift of the Nile. Herodotus, the Greek historian, recognized the critical role of the Nile in shaping Egyptian civilization. Plutarch. The Egyptians are the most ancient people and have a vast and varied history. Plutarch's observations reflect the long and influential history of Egypt. The construction of pyramids and temples. The construction of Egypt's pyramids and temples remains one of the most impressive achievements in human history. These architectural marvels were built with extraordinary precision and reflect the advanced engineering skills of the ancient Egyptians. The Pyramids of Giza. Great Pyramid of Giza. Built for Pharaoh Khufu, the Great Pyramid is the largest and most famous of the pyramids. Its construction involved millions of limestone blocks, with each block weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. The precision with which the blocks were cut and placed demonstrates the advanced understanding of geometry and engineering possessed by the ancient Egyptians. Construction techniques. Recent studies suggest that ramps, levers, and possibly even cranes were used to transport and position the massive stones. Theories about the methods employed include straight ramps, zigzagging ramps, and circular ramps. Despite the various theories, the exact techniques remain a subject of debate among scholars. Temples and monuments. Karnak Temple. The Karnak Temple complex, dedicated to the god Amun, is one of the largest religious structures ever built. Its construction spans several centuries, with contributions from numerous pharaohs. The temple features massive pylons, hypostyle halls with towering columns, and intricate carvings depicting the divine and royal. Luxor Temple. Located on the east bank of the Nile, Luxor Temple was dedicated to the Theban triad of Amun, Mut, and Khonsu. It served as a site for the Opet festival, which celebrated the annual visit of the god Amun from Karnak. The temple's layout and decorations reflect its religious and ceremonial significance. Vitruvius. The Egyptians are remarkable for their precision and understanding of proportion. Vitruvius, the Roman architect, admired the Egyptians' architectural achievements. Egyptian papyrus. Various papyri, such as the Diary of Mir, provide insights into the logistics of pyramid construction and the daily life of workers, architectural styles, and sculptural elements. Egyptian art and architecture were characterized by distinctive styles that conveyed religious and cultural meanings. The symmetry and formality of their sculptures and buildings reflect the values and beliefs of ancient Egyptian society. Architectural styles. Pyramidal structures. The pyramid shape symbolized the rays of the sun, connecting the pharaohs with the divine. The smooth-sided pyramid evolved from the earlier step pyramid design, reflecting advancements in architectural knowledge. Temples. Egyptian temples were designed as sacred spaces where gods resided. They featured large courtyards, hypostyle halls, and sanctuaries. The walls were often adorned with intricate hieroglyphs and bas-reliefs depicting religious scenes and the pharaoh's deeds. Sculptural styles. Statues of pharaohs. Pharaohs were depicted in a rigid and formal style, emphasizing their divine status and eternal nature. Statues often portrayed them with idealized features and in traditional poses, such as seated or striding. Religious figures. Deities were represented with anthropomorphic and zoomorphic forms, combining human and animal characteristics to convey their divine attributes. The sculptures were intended to facilitate communication with the gods and ensure their presence in temples and tombs. Pliny the Elder. The Egyptians excelled in sculpture, capturing the essence of their gods and rulers. Pliny's observations highlight the artistic achievements of ancient Egypt. The Rosetta Stone. This inscribed artifact provided key insights into Egyptian hieroglyphs and their meanings, facilitating the understanding of Egyptian art and inscriptions. Social structure and interactions. The social structure of ancient Egypt was highly stratified, with clear distinctions between different classes. Understanding these interactions provides insights into the daily life and governance of this ancient civilization. The pharaoh and nobility. Pharaoh's role. The pharaoh was considered both a divine and earthly ruler, responsible for maintaining Ma'at, cosmic order. Their authority extended over all aspects of life, from religious practices to state affairs. Noble class. Nobles held significant power and influence, managing regional affairs and acting as intermediaries between the pharaoh and the common people. They often owned large estates and were involved in military and administrative roles. Cleopatra VII, a brief overview. Cleopatra, born in 69 BC, became pharaoh of Egypt in 51 BC. To secure the throne, she entered into an alliance with Julius Caesar, becoming his mistress and giving birth to a son, Caesarion. After Caesar's death, she became Mark Antony's partner. Their union led to conflict with Octavian. Having been defeated at Actium in 31 BC, Cleopatra is remembered as a powerful and charming queen. King Scorpion I, an early ruler of Upper Egypt around 3150 BC, reigned before Egypt's unification. His reign is marked by military victories, notably depicted on the scorpion mace head, and advancements in burial practices. His leadership was crucial, laying the groundwork for Egypt's eventual unification under Narmer, Menes. Priests and scribes. Priests conducted daily rituals and managed temple properties. They were integral to maintaining religious practices and ensuring the favor of the gods. High-ranking priests often held considerable influence and wealth. Scribes. Scribes were responsible for record-keeping and administrative duties. Their literacy and specialized skills made them valuable assets to the state and temples. Artisans and farmers. Artisans. Artisans produced high-quality goods, including jewelry, pottery, and textiles. Their work was highly respected, and they often lived in specialized communities. Farmers. The majority of Egyptians were farmers, working the land and managing irrigation systems. Their labor was essential to the economy and supported the entire society. Herodotus. The Egyptians, more than any other nation, have a system of hierarchy that extends into every facet of their lives. Herodotus' accounts provide valuable insights into the social structure of ancient Egypt. The Book of the Dead. This funerary text offers descriptions of the roles and responsibilities of different classes, as well as the beliefs surrounding the afterlife. The role of women and children. Women and children played significant roles in ancient Egyptian society, contributing to both domestic life and religious practices. Women's rights and duties. Legal rights. Women in ancient Egypt had legal rights, including the ability to own property, enter into contracts, and inherit wealth. Their rights were well defined, although social class influenced their opportunities and status. Religious roles. Women could serve as priestesses and participate in religious ceremonies. They played an important role in maintaining the spiritual life of the community and ensuring the favor of the gods. Children's education and life. Education. Education was available primarily to boys from wealthier families. focusing on literacy, mathematics, and administrative skills. Girls were taught domestic skills, although some had access to education depending on their family's resources. Childhood. Children enjoyed a relatively carefree childhood, with play being an important part of their development. They were expected to assist with household chores and, as they grew older, take on responsibilities related to their family's occupation. The Papyrus of Ani. This document provides insights into the daily life and education of children in ancient Egypt. The Letter of Mir. This letter, written by a worker involved in pyramid construction, mentions his wife and family, highlighting their roles and interactions. Astronomical achievements and their impact. Ancient Egyptians were keen observers of the cosmos, and their astronomical achievements had a profound impact on their agricultural practices and calendar systems. Astronomical observations. Star clusters and calendars. The ancient Egyptians closely observed star clusters such as Orion and Sirius. The heliacal rising of Sirius marked the beginning of the inundation season and was crucial for their agricultural calendar. Solar and lunar cycles. They developed a calendar based on the lunar cycle, with additional adjustments to synchronize with the solar year. This calendar was essential for organizing agricultural activities and religious festivals. Influence on agriculture. Seasonal planning. The alignment of the calendar with astronomical events allowed Egyptians to plan their planting and harvesting schedules accurately. This precision contributed to the stability and success of their agricultural economy. Religious significance. Celestial events were often linked to religious beliefs, with gods and goddesses associated with different celestial bodies. The observation of these events reinforced the connection between the divine and the natural world. Though, the Egyptians, who have a remarkable understanding of the stars and their movements, have developed a calendar that aligns with their agricultural needs. Manetho's writings highlight the Egyptians' advanced astronomical knowledge. The Pyramid Texts. These texts contain references to celestial phenomena and their significance in the religious and royal context. Technical advancements in construction and engineering. The technical prowess of ancient Egyptians is evident in their architectural and engineering achievements, which have fascinated scholars and engineers for centuries. Construction techniques. Stone quarrying and transport. Techniques for quarrying and transporting stones involve sophisticated tools and methods. Evidence suggests the use of copper chisels, wooden sledges, and water to reduce friction. Engineering innovations. Innovations such as the use of ramps, levers, and cranes facilitated the construction of large structures. The precise alignment and leveling of buildings demonstrate advanced engineering skills. Urban planning and infrastructure. City layouts. Egyptian cities were carefully planned, with administrative, residential, and religious areas distinctively organized. The layout of cities, like Thebes and Memphis, reflects their functional and ceremonial roles. Water management. The management of the Nile's floodwaters involved an extensive system of canals, dikes, and reservoirs. This infrastructure was vital for agriculture and urban development. Vitruvius. The Egyptians have achieved remarkable feats in architecture and engineering, using tools and methods that are still studied today. Vitruvius' admiration underscores the enduring legacy of Egyptian engineering. The Edwin Smith Papyrus. This medical text includes descriptions of surgical procedures and techniques, reflecting the advanced knowledge of anatomy and engineering. Daily life and customs. Daily life in ancient Egypt was characterized by a blend of routine and ritual, reflecting the values and beliefs of this ancient civilization. Housing and living conditions. Architecture of homes. Typical Egyptian homes were made of mud brick, with flat roofs and courtyards. Wealthier homes featured more elaborate designs and amenities, including gardens and decorative elements. Living conditions. Housing varied by social class, with the wealthier classes enjoying more spacious and comfortable living conditions. Common people lived in simpler, smaller homes. Food and clothing. Diet. The Egyptian diet was based on staple foods such as bread, beer, and vegetables. Meat and fish were consumed less frequently, often reserved for special occasions. Clothing. Clothing varied by status and occupation. The wealthy wore linen garments, often decorated with jewelry, while common people wore simpler clothing. Sandals and headwear were common accessories. The Ebers Papyrus. This medical papyrus includes references to daily life and dietary practices, providing a glimpse into the health and nutrition of ancient Egyptians. Tomb paintings. Paintings from tombs depict various aspects of daily life, including food preparation, clothing, and domestic activities. Festivals and rituals. Scene. Reenactments and artistic depictions of ancient Egyptian festivals and rituals. Festivals and rituals were integral to ancient Egyptian life, serving both religious and social functions. These celebrations reinforced community bonds and honored the gods. Festival celebrations. Opet Festival. The Opet Festival was a major religious event involving a grand procession and elaborate rituals. It celebrated the divine union of the gods Amun, Mut, and Khonsu and reinforced the divine status of the pharaoh. The said festival was a ritual celebrating the longevity and renewal of the pharaoh's power. It included symbolic races, feasting, and ceremonies that reaffirmed the pharaoh's vitality and divine favor. Religious practices. Daily offerings. Offerings to gods and ancestors were a daily ritual, including food, drink, and incense. These offerings were made at home altars and temple shrines to ensure divine protection and favor. Temple worship. Temples were central to religious life, serving as places of worship, economic centers, and community hubs. Priests performed elaborate rituals to maintain cosmic order and facilitate communication with the gods. The pyramid texts. These texts include descriptions of religious rituals and offerings, reflecting the importance of these practices in Egyptian society. The ritual of the opening of the mount. This ritual, described in various texts, was performed to animate statues and mummies, enabling them to receive offerings and interact with the divine. Modern research and discoveries. The field of Egyptology continues to evolve with new discoveries and technological advancements, shedding light on the complexities of ancient Egyptian civilization. Key discoveries. Tomb of Tutankhamun. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter was a landmark event, revealing a wealth of artifacts and providing insights into the royal burial practices and daily life of the New Kingdom. New Kingdom texts. Recent excavations have uncovered new texts and inscriptions that provide detailed information about administrative practices, religious beliefs, and royal decrees. Technological advances. 3D imaging and reconstruction. Advances in 3D imaging and digital reconstruction have allowed researchers to recreate ancient structures and artifacts with unprecedented accuracy, offering new perspectives on their design and function. DNA analysis. Genetic research has provided insights into the health, ancestry, and relationships of ancient Egyptians, enhancing our understanding of their society and its interactions. Howard Carter's diaries. Carter's detailed accounts of the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb offer first-hand insights into the excavation process and its significance. Recent scholarly articles. Modern research articles provide updates on recent discoveries and technological advancements, reflecting the dynamic nature of Egyptology. Ancient Egypt, with its monumental achievements and rich cultural heritage, continues to fascinate and inspire. Each new discovery adds depth to our understanding of this remarkable civilization, revealing the enduring legacy of the land of the pharaohs.